let's take a look here at Harry Houdini, the magician, and his sidekick Bess. Houdini is a melee fighter with 14 health. Bess is melee also, but with 5 health. They have a move value of 2. The ability is, when you take a maneuver action and boost, you may place Houdini in any space instead of moving. Bess moves as normal. Here we have his attack cards. We're starting off with the Big Reveal, 2 copies, 3 boost value. You may boost this card twice. After combat, return 1 card you boosted with to your hand. 4 value, an Illusion of My Own Design, 2 copies. Immediately, your opponent may boost their card. During combat, you may boost this card. Getting into his versatiles, it's a 2 value, Vanishing Act. Houdini has 3 of these. Choose one of the fighters in the combat and move them up to 3 spaces. They may move through their opposing fighters. The Grand Escape is defense card, 3 copies, 3 boost. During combat, you may boost this card. If you win the combat, place your fighter in any space. A Magician never reveals his secrets. It's a boost of 4. There's only 1 copy in the deck. The effect is draw 2 cards, gain 1 action. If an effect would let an opponent look at your hand, you may reveal this card and cancel that effect. Then we have Sleight of Hand. It's an any. It's a 1 value. 2 copies. It's a boost of 3, and the boost effect for when you use it as a boost is draw 1 card. Immediately, you may return this card to your hand and choose a different card to play. Resolve all effects on that card as normal. Then we have For My Next Trick, 2 attack, 2 copies. Move one of your fighters up to 1 space. Draw 1 card, gain 1 action. Flourish. It's a 3 attack any, 4 copies in the deck. Draw 1 card as the effect with a boost of 2, and also during combat is you may boost this card. All right, Misdirection. It's a 2 versatile, 3 copies. The effect and boost is 1. The effect would be deal 2 damage to any fighter. And the card effect is cancel effects on your opponent's card. Then we have Smoke and Mirrors, 2 copies, any, 3 value, versatile, a boost of 1. Immediately, Houdini and Bess may swap spaces. If they do, your other fighter is now in the combat. All right, defense. All part of the show, 2 copies. Houdini recovers 2 health, 2 boost. That's the effect on the boost, and then we get into the actual card effect. This card's effects cannot be canceled. After combat, if your fighter was defeated, set their health to 4 instead and place them in any space. If this effect happens, even if Houdini was defeated. Okay, the best cards. And the beautiful Bess. 2 copies. If it's your turn, gain 1 action, 1 copy. If you discarded this card as a result of an opponent's effect, draw 1 card. And then lastly, we have 2 copies of this scheme, Set the Stage. The boost is 2, and the effect on the boost is look at an opponent's hand and choose a card for them to discard. The regular effect is draw 3 cards and put a card in your hand on top of your deck. As Harry Houdini, how do you want to play the game? Well, he is impossible to pin down. You cannot pin him down. You get him pinned, he can get out with the Escape Artist ability. And so if you take the maneuver, you can boost the maneuver action, you can just boost right out of there. So you'll be able to just fly and place him in any empty space. In any available space, really, because you can still place them in like a trap or a fog token, for example. So that's important. Anyway, the Big Reveal, an Illusion of My Own Design. So what you're going to want to be doing with this guy here is poking. Poke, 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 and then big attack, okay? Hopefully we can make that more understandable as we go along. So you have a lot of cards here that you can boost. So you have 1, 2, 3 different types of cards. You have 4 here, 2 here, and 2 here, right? So the Big Reveal, you may boost this card twice. Return 1 card you boosted with to your hand. What a great card. It's only a 2 value, but let's say you use that with this and this, right? So you played this, it didn't get fainted, hopefully, because you don't want your cards fainted. And then you double boost. So you got a 4 and a 3. You got 7, 8, 9. This becomes a 9 all of a sudden. which is pretty insane. And you get to put one back in your hand. So you could just take this, put it back in your hand, and you get the effect on the boost as well, which is draw another card, which is just incredible for Houdini. Just incredible. So we'll go into some more of his boost cards and what they do, but keep that in mind that when you boost, you'll be able to get that effect, and you don't want to forget that even when you're playing the character, you know. This is draw 2 cards and gain an action. If an effect would let an opponent look at your hand, you may reveal this card and cancel that effect. So that can be beneficial in some matchups, right? If they're trying to look at your hand. The draw 2 cards gain an action, almost never would I use. I pretty much want it for the boost, and because there's only 1 copy in the deck, I think that that's very important to boost and get over the value of your opponent's card. This is another one. Your opponent may boost their card immediately, and then during combat, you may boost this card. It's a 4, so it's kind of threatening already. If they've played a 2 or 3, they might want to boost. And if they're boosting, they're discarding cards, and even if you don't want to discard cards, they might think that you will, and so it's always a threat. So it forces them to either take damage or discard a card usually. And then we got just a few normal. This one helps him get around, helps him move. This one, not too powerful. You may boost this card. You probably, if you do, you're not taking damage, but you're also not using the boost value for your own attacks and boosts and such. If you won the combat, place your fighter in any space. That helps you get around the board still. Like I said, he's impossible to pin down. Now this is your main poke cards here. These two. I call them poke cards because you're not trying to do damage, but you're trying to get at your opponent's hand and dwindle it down so that you can do one of those big boost attacks. This one here, you may return this card to your hand and choose a different card to play. Resolve an effect on that card as normal. So if they feint this, you can't do that. But if they don't feint it and they play a weak card, you can bring out, for example, say that 9. That possible 9 value boosted attack, right? So this, what an incredible card. And there's 2 copies in the deck. You don't want it fainted, but you're also going to be able to play this card as a poke. Move one of your fighters up to 1 space, draw a card, gain an action. So you poke, they've wasted a card. You get to draw a card and gain the action. So use those as your primary poke tools. There's 4 of them. And then lead up into things like Flourish. You may boost this card, and so this could be a 7, for example. Or normally it's going to be a 6, and then you get the effect on there. This is good to keep Bess alive or Houdini's health points and keep him alive, because you're able to swap spaces and the other fighters now in combat. Now, here's some important cards right here. They're any cards also, so you have to keep that in mind too. With the any cards, you can also poke using Bess if you want to get her in there. She's got a tiny, tiny health pool of 5, and it's very fragile, so be careful about keeping her alive. This is pretty much your feint, misdirection, cancel effects, but the effect on the boost is deal 2 damage to any fighter. If you just need to get a couple damage over and you don't need to worry about canceling in a matchup, I suggest using the boost for that. I wouldn't use them all for the 6 damage usually, and I also wouldn't use them all for cancel. It just depends on what you're trying to do in the matchup. And then this one's recovering health, always nice, but this card's effects can't be canceled either. And if your fighter was defeated, you set their health to 4 instead. So you want to draw this late game. You want to have this in your hand at late game so you can play and just stay alive, because you're not decking other people out, but you're poking to get an opportunity to get in. And then we have things like set the stage, look at opponent's hand and choose a card for them to discard. And then if it's your turn, gain an action on this effect here. Very important cards also. I know they're best cards, but the effects on them are both really good. Even if Bess is dead, you can use it to gain the effect on the boost. So you can literally go in anywhere and start your pokes and your attacks. And then this, of course, just look at your opponent's hand, choose a card for them to discard. You could literally boost in, discard one of their good cards or their only defense or their good defense, and then get a couple gain actions or some big attacks in, right? So that's pretty much Houdini, right? And He's pretty complicated because depending on the matchup, you're going to want to do different things. But overall, what you want to be doing is poking. You want to get rid of their cards so that you can get in and attack with bigger hits. Get those big valued hits in. So as him, that's what you're doing. That's pretty simple. Try to keep Bess alive. Use her to body block if need be. Maximize and be cautious of which part of the card to use. Because if you're boosting in with the top action and getting the boost value, you're not getting the effect and the value of the card to be played, right? So it's managing that, and that's his whole thing, just managing your cards properly in the best possible way so that you can win with Houdini.